Hi, girls. Thanks for joining. Do you know what? We have just opened the laptop, and the first thing Ali said was, "Meg, your desktop is stressing me out because
it really was.
It's got files everywhere."
Why are they not all in folders, Meg?
I do feel like you should come to my house because you would have a field time. But this is actually the first question I want to ask you. The thing that puts me off getting you to my house is that it's a mess. So then I think I need to tidy it all up.
Yeah, but what's the point?
Well, exactly.
The thing that we say that, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'd be mortified, I couldn't have you in my house. But if everybody was mortified, we wouldn't have a business.
And when you've got to the point where you're looking for help, then it's bad.
No.
And it means you're in the mindset of you're wanting to get it done, and it's a good thing because then you're wanting to you realise yourself as bad. I'll stop talking about that. Take over.
We're going to make that into the social media highlight.
It's fine. I don't know how social media works. I'll never see it.
You probably won't. That's not even a joke.
Right, let's start by talking about how you guys got started. So, Al, you were a teacher.
Yep.
And you were working in the Beatson.
Yes.
So how did this come about? Were you always into organisation? Was it something that you'd always talked about? How did it start?
I think both of us are really, really tidy anyway. Our houses were always, like, I always have been really tidy. Actually, I've never met anybody like me until I met you, Ali.
Really?
For like 100 spirits. We're both love interiors. We've always helped each other. Like, if we were doing up a room in our house, it would be Joanne that I would go to for advice, and vice versa. We worked on like projects together in both of our houses, and we were always in our friendship group. People would come to us saying, "Oh, my kitchen's not working, can you come and help me sort it out?" kind of thing. So we'd help a lot of friends.
Yeah, one of our friends had just moved into a new house. It was a 70s style house, isn't it? And she'd asked us to go and help her look at carpets and wallpaper. So we went out for the day, and then we went back and we were having a cup of tea, and she was like showing us around, and our son has this amazing big room with two wardrobes in it.
Dream teenage room with like a wee gaming area, like really good size.
But then we walked in and we opened the wardrobes, and we were like, oh my God, like there's stuff in it like this all needs pulled out. So we're like, do you know what? We had about an hour or
like,
two.
Oh, just shut the door. It's fine. Just shut the door. I don't want to tackle it. And we were like, no.
We had about an hour or two before the hit school pickup. And we're like, let's pull this all out.
Let's
so
just
literally
get it done.
did a wardrobe and pulled it all out and sorted it, and we were like, oh, let's like stood back as if it's we do that a lot, as if it's our house. And we're like, so good, it looks so nice.
And then so that kind of kick started it. That was a big project. Then she asked us to do other rooms in our house, and then
she was like, you should do this, like you're so good at this. And we were like, I don't know if it's a thing really, is it? And then we were like, actually the Stacey Sullivan program, like she does.
And it was obviously, it's like a real emerging market in America, like, and most things that start in America end up coming over here anyway. And with the whole Stacey Sullivan sort your house out, sort your life out, that was massive. And you could see there was like momentum growing behind it. And we were like, we've got nothing to lose. Why don't we give this a shot? See what happens. If there's no market for it out there, there's no market for it. But yeah, let's just give it a shot.
We were sat in Nando's and we came up with our name.
Oh, really?
Yes. Nando's, And then we decided to get together up here. This is our little office. And it was the 22nd of the 11th. So it was 22, 11, 22. And I'm like, I'm sure that's some sort of angel numbers. Like, let's just start the Instagram page today. And we started to set up basically the business that day. Just went from there.
Amazing. Because I know that there are so many people listening to this who have always wanted to do something. They wanted to be an organizer or an interior designer or a personal trainer or something like a changing career. I think that's very popular for women, especially once they've had kids. The kids are at school, like, I just want to do something different.
I don't even think any of us were actually even really thinking. I think it just kind of felt.
It happened so.
It did, like it just.
But almost like with things like that, I think if you overthink it too much and you start thinking of all the what ifs, or should you leave an established job, or should you do this, and you convince yourself not to do it. Whereas sometimes you just need to take a leap of faith and go, what's the worst that can happen? Genuinely, what was the worst that could happen when we decided to do that? At that point, I'd already taken a career break from my previous job. Joanne was working 2 days a week. So she knew she had the flexibility of 3 days, and we're like, what have we got to lose? We've got nothing to lose, but a lot to gain of doing something that we love.
And can I just say as well, we're not sisters. We are friends. We met. That's how we met. With school mum friends. Do you know the amount of people that think we are sisters? Clients that were walking out and they like say something, and I'm like, they think we're we've been stopped in Costa from the man saying we were talking to his wee baby or his granddaughter, and he's like, "Oh, your sisters," and we're like, "No." He's like, "I think you need to have a word with your dad." And we're like, we are not sisters. So yeah, we were basically, our kids go to school, so we're school mums, and that's how we met. And then years later, this happened. But yeah, honestly, I can't tell you how many people think we're sisters.
How interesting.
Yeah. I think maybe our mannerisms are kind of morphing into one.
That man in Costa didn't know.
I know.
So strange.
Don't know.
He didn't even know that you worked together or anything like that.
But like loads, even the other day, like one of the clients I had said to, I came away and I was like, she said we were sisters. She thought
there are definitely similarities. I can see it.
really?
I mean, I'll take it.
Maybe it's our mannerisms. Maybe like we spend that much time.
Yeah, I think it might be slightly that.
Yeah. So that's how it started. What about your first client, your first paid for client? How did you feel going into that?
Nervous.
I was okay with it.
No, I was nervous.
I think we've got quite different personalities in that Joanne, I think you are, I don't even know the right words that I'm trying to say here, but I think you
choose it wisely.
I know I don't actually know, but I sometimes are like, if someone isn't, if they want to get us out for a consultation, they're at the point they would like a little bit of help, and they've got to build a rapport with us, so they've got to feel comfortable having us in their home. It's like, it's a really personal thing having someone into your home. And I kind of felt like, well, you're kind of laying yourself on the line almost, like, are you comfortable working with us? And either they are or they're not, and we've been really thankful that most people we've had, to be fair, in fact, the majority of people we've had, like, so, just built really lovely relationships with all of our clients, and people we've had nothing but positive feedback from anyone that we've worked with. And I think we feed off each other as well. Like, if I'm nervous, then she knows, like, she steps up, and vice versa. Like, but we're not really. I don't even know we're thinking now at all. That's what the word I was thinking. I think at the beginning you were maybe slightly overthinking it and trying to make sure, but as I was saying, just be yourself. Like, actually, that's all you need to be. And then you'll build a rapport with people, and they'll. I think it was a kitchen. Our first job was a kitchen. Yeah, a big, nice kitchen. It was a beautiful kitchen. Yeah.
You must get to see some beautiful homes.
Too. Honestly, like amazing homes, and actually, like a real variety. Yeah, it is a variety. Yeah, a real variety. Honestly, like I said earlier, my favourite thing's a garage.
Yeah.
Although you don't like spiders and I don't like mice.
I think the thing with a garage, like, and you were saying to us before, what's your favourite room, but the thing with a garage is there's no sentimental attachment to most things that are in a garage, so people don't stress so much about decluttering a garage.
It's quite a big transformation. I think that's why, because a lot of things in your garage are there and they don't need to be there, like they're for charity or the skip, so you see a massive,
and it can be a bit of a dumping ground.
They've made it out of the cupboards into the garage, and then they're stored there
for an eternity.
It's like when you get the bags for the charity shop in your boot, drive around for weeks. But you guys do all that for the client.
But I also do that myself, drive around with if it's
with someone else.
Someone else.
Like that, Ali's husband used to go to the skip, and I'm like, oh, I've got 2 bags you can take. They're in my garage.
It is the logistics of things that people think. It's not just going in and sorting out your wardrobe or whatever else. It's then, right, okay, what am I going to do with the stuff I no longer want? Can I be bothered to sell it all in vintage? Can I go to the charity shop? Can I get to the dump? Can I pass those bags on to a friend?
Like, do you want to spend your whole weekend? A lot of our clients are full-time, they work full-time, they're parents, so do you want to spend a full weekend doing that? Probably not.
And that's the thing when it comes to busy lives, is delegation and just understanding that you can't do everything. You can't be all things to all people, and if you want to live in an organised, sorted house, then sometimes you might need to ask for a bit of help.
Like, we've got 6 kids between us. We've both got 3 kids, and in a way, and I'm not taking away from anyone that doesn't have kids, because people can be working full times and have other commitments and helping out with family or whatever else, but in a way I kind of think that's our superpower in a sense, because know what it's like. I've got 3 kids that have 15 after school clubs between them. Do you know, like
15?
like it's insanity. And Joanne's got like a daughter in university, a daughter doing hires, and then another daughter, you know, like in second year.
Wearing fake tan and
all that stuff. So, but we know what it's like trying to juggle it all and be something to everyone and make sure you're there for your kids and manage a job and manage a business and do the food shop and do the ironing and clean your house, and everything piles up sometimes. And actually, it's like that understanding of going, actually, it's okay to go, do you know what, I'm going to get help with my ironing this week, or I'm going to get a cleaner, or I'm going to get a professional organizer, I'm going to get a dog walker, or I'm going to get someone to come and valet my car, or, you know, whatever it is that makes your life just work a little bit better. That's
the thing about home organising is different from cleaning as well, because obviously you need a cleaner because like every week or every 2 weeks, or you need to clean your house. And but with home organising, it's if you get us in, it's about organising so it makes tidying up quicker and easier.
Yeah,
because I know sometimes like if your house, it can take you just as long to actually tidy a house than it can to actually clean it, and you're there the whole day. But if everything's got a place and a system, which we like to, that's what we like to think we do, go in and put a system in place, then it halves your time, everything's got a place, so it's easier to put things away as you're going along. So that's the whole, like, as I say,
it's not a quick fix.
Yeah.
It's actually making systems.
And that's, I think, what so many people are looking for, but they maybe don't realise that they're looking for it. So I think so many women, mothers in particular, are going through their life and they've got all the clubs and they're busy and they've got homework and they need to find that and they need to find that and they need to get that organised for the morning. And when their house is cluttered and in a bit of a mess, I don't think a lot of people realise the impact that has on everything else.
Like I wrote some things down last night because I was doing a wee bit of research for this, but I was astounded by this, and it was like 80% of the clutter in most people's homes is a result of disorganisation rather than lack of space. I was like, wow, that's huge. Like, so the majority of houses that are disorganised and are like overloaded with clutter, it's not because you don't have the, you know, adequate space to store things. It's because you don't have a system in place and you don't know where to put your house keys. You don't know where you store, like the amount of people we go into their homes and we're sorting out their wardrobe, and then out of their wardrobe comes gift bags, and they're like, where do you even store gift bags? I don't know where to store gift bags. I've just thrown them in there because I don't know where to store them. And we're like, well, you need to have a place in your home that you can store like all these little things that you don't think of when you're thinking of the bigger picture of a house, but batteries, gift bags, house keys, envelopes, you know, like all these little things that we all need to have in our homes, but where are you actually going to keep them? Where are you going to store them? And just making your home work more efficiently.
If there is a place for everything, it's so much easier to, and if it's labelled, because a lot of people, they need a visual prompt. So if it's labelled and it's...
So that's why the labelling, because sometimes I wonder...
We have a lot of clients as well that have ADHD, and so actually like labelling things and having something visuals like easier.
Really, that's so interesting, because I know that kind of clutter in a messy house is a sign of ADHD. I'm convinced I have ADHD. It's never been diagnosed, but I'm convinced I have
Just using that because your house is...
I mean, I could use it as an excuse for many things, to be honest. It's not undiagnosed ADHD. But in terms of mental health, it's massive, and we just don't realise. But often when you look up things about mental health and how to get yourself out of a stuck position, it's always start by clearing your space.
I think some people as well just need someone there beside them. Like one of my family members, I went over to help with her wardrobe, and actually was amazed at how quickly it got done, and she was so good. But it's just actually someone saying like, let's do this, like come on, let's go and do this right now. And
that's what we're saying, like we really do build really strong relationships with our clients, because you're going through their personal stuff and they have to be able to trust you in the process. And like Jo was saying earlier, I don't know anyone that's going to sit and go, I'm going to spend 5 days, solid 5 days sorting the house out. I'm going to go through every room in my house and I'm going to get everything sorted.
We go through every item down to the smallest button. Like literally everything. If you give us a room to do, everything in that room comes out and gets organised and sorted.
So that's how you do it. So I read the life-changing magic of tidying up by Marie Kondo.
Yeah.
And she talks about going through your house item by item. So put all the jackets in one place first and then sort the jackets out. Put all the shoes in one place, then sort the shoes out. But you guys do it room by room.
So we would
Depends,
start.
if we're doing a whole house or if we're doing a room, a lot of clients just get you in to do the one room. But literally everything comes out.
So if we were doing a room, for instance, if we were doing a kitchen, we would literally go in and empty that kitchen out. We would get rid of anything out of date. We'd start to categorize things. Then we'd call the client, and the client always has to be there for the declutter because it's their decision at the end of the day what stays and goes. It's their home. It has to work for them. So they decide if there's anything that they no longer use, they no longer want, and that's going to go either to donate or to a friend, or to, if it's broken, it will go to the dump.
We'll also ask then the client how the kitchen works for them, and then we'll shuffle things around, lay it out how it should, like,
so that you've got your tea and coffee next to your kettle and your
kettle,
mugs next to
your
your
pots and
you're
pans
having to
next to
think
your-
about the layout of it.
your cooker.
Talk to me more about that. So you obviously have systems for every room that just work.
Yeah,
So
we do in a system that we think that's definitely how it should all go. And 90% of the time that's how it'll go. However, that's what you'll speak to a client and ask them how their kitchen works. Sometimes they'll throw in something that actually, no, this is how I like to do it, and it's like, right, okay, well we'll work around that then.
I think the thing is that because we toyed for a while, we're like, should we make up like organizational packs, like wardrobe packs that people can sell, like to, you know, a bundle that we can sell to people, and then we're like, actually it's just never going to work because organization is such a bespoke process. Like it just is down to how you live in your home, the systems that you have in place that you want to continue to have in place, and actually it all depends on what the client wants, the stuff that they've got already that needs to be housed in that area, and then we need to bespoke build the organization system around what works for them. So it's really difficult to make a bundle that you could, you know, that someone could just pick up and go. It needs to be tweaked for every client.
And like Ali said as well, it's like you're going into someone's house, you're literally pulling out all their belongings, so you need to have that, you need to build up that rapport, don't you, that they can trust you and think. And we're quite light-hearted, to be honest. We have a bit of laugh and a joke, don't we? So
I can't imagine that.
I'm probably the most sarcastic person you'll
we
ever
have
meet.
been known to have a laugh and a joke, or we all start crying.
Yes,
with
or
quite often a cry and a wee cuddle, and then we all need a wee blub and a cup of tea. But like quite a lot of our clients end up sharing their life story with us, and most people.
I was having a bad day, and one client's like mum came in, she was having a bad day, and two of us looked at each other, started crying.
And then I started crying.
But most of the time we're really jolly.
Most people, like the majority of people, have been through some kind of hardship in their life. That has got them to where they are. You know, very few people sail through life without anything happening to them. So, and a lot of people just want to talk about that as well. So,
or you're going through memories as well. You can be feeling memories, and you know,
there's a reason I don't want to throw that out. And this is why
there's always a story for every item you pull out as well, don't you? A lot of clients. You're like, right, do you want to keep this? And they're like,
oh, there's a story behind that. So it's nice. So you feel like by the end of the project you have, like,
a lot of the time you come away and you're like, oh, I'm going to miss this.
They're like waving the car away, and we're like,
but you can go back. So that's also a service that you offer.
A lot of our clients do get us back to do, if we've been in to do a kitchen, then they'll like it's like 2 or 3 times to do garages or bedrooms or lofts or things. You know, I'd say a lot of our clients get us back again.
Majority of them.
We're so nice.
Or they just love your sarcasm.
And good at what you do.
Maybe.
So they'll come back for other rooms, but you can also go back to refresh.
So obviously we can go in and do a kitchen. Some people will get us back like 3 or 4 or 6 months later, and maybe their life has changed slightly. You know, there might be now a teenage son that wants protein powder, or, you know, like something else that has to fit into the kitchen,
a new
or
baby, or
a new baby, or, you know, they've bought an air fryer and that has jumbled everything up, or, you know, just things change within a 6-month period, and then within that time the systems have kind of just got a wee bit mixed up, or they just need a little bit of help getting it all organised again.
A quick refresh. It's easier when the system's in place and you're literally just going in and
much easier. So that would just be like 3-4 hours, go in, blast it, get it all working again, and then you leave. And you know, and there's no storage required either because everything's already there.
So let's talk generically for a second. I know that it's bespoke for each house, but if someone's listening to this and they think, right, I just want to organize my house, where would they start? If they wanted to do it the whole house and they didn't have your services, what would you advise them to start with?
The room that annoys them the most.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
The room
Always
that
start with
bothers
the area
them
that
the
stresses
most.
you out, and usually that's either your kitchen or your bedroom.
Okay.
For most people, that is the area that kind
Yeah.
of are probably being used the most, and the area that stresses them out the most. But like you were saying with the whole Marie Kondo thing, if I was starting afresh and I was wanting to tackle the whole house, I would first of all pull everything out my kitchen. Let's say I'm starting there, and if there's things that shouldn't actually be in the kitchen, I would start to then pull them aside. Like, do I need to have my gift bags in my kitchen? I'm just choosing something random.
I
Like,
love a gift bag.
I know, my gift bags all into it.
It's a good example.
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
because nobody has a place.
Wrapping
I
paper.
I have
You know the big
whole-
tubes of wrapping paper? They are the worst
are, I
to
couldn't-
a whole
transport.
box, guys. You'd be proud of me. It sits above my shoe cupboard and it's got wrapping paper, gift bags, cards.
Birthday cards, yeah, all that stuff, yeah. But if there's something in the space that has always annoyed you and you think it doesn't actually belong in here, like that is your opportunity to pull that out and start to categorize, start to make piles, start to think, right, that needs to go to somewhere else in my home, and literally just go through each room and start, your categories will start to grow and get bigger. But also you need to
or do a drawer or two at a time. The other day I was going putting my dishwasher things out the dishwasher, which is really my husband's job, but we'd clearly forgotten that then, so we did have words later on.
Slack.
Yeah, I'm like, that's your job. Do you know how they have a job? We both have a job each.
I bet you find
that
that
organised.
organised.
Yeah, anyway, I had to empty the dishwasher, and I noticed my pots and pans drawer was actually a mess and it was annoying me. So like, just even like that, if you open
10
a drawer,
minutes,
yeah,
yeah.
10
Just
minutes
do
to
it as
organise
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
Because even a professional organiser's house
Yeah,
gets
well,
messy.
especially if your husband empties the dishwasher, just fires things in the pot drawer rather than using the pot lid holder.
She's got separators, of course you do.
Maybe that's why I left it for me to do it that day. It's like, that drawer's getting a bit messy, do you know what?
Yeah.
Not emptying the dishwasher. She can do it today. She'll notice I don't cook either. He cooks, so never really I'm in that drawer, to be honest.
You have got a good deal.
Oh, says you.
Yeah, okay, I've got a good deal. But no, I think, yeah, start small, work up, and then
Time yourself as well. I love timing
time
myself.
yourself.
Yes.
It's like a wee challenge.
Or like put on a playlist and go and dance around and do it. And
Yeah.
I quite
Oh,
often
we
do
love
that.
a playlist.
See, if we're in a house, like we were in a house on Monday and the client wasn't there, and it's a refresh that we go into once a month and we just sort out his flat. So we always divide and conquer, and I'd gone into one room and Joanne had gone into another room, and I honestly
I wasn't
blared.
impressed with that playlist.
And I
the other
loved
day.
it, just
No.
until you weren't in the room.
Yeah, we
I had
usually
my
good. We
80s
usually
tune.
actually agree on. See, I like the 80s tunes. We usually like the same.
It was like a soul.
There was a couple that I liked.
It
but yeah,
was, oh, I
we
love
play our
it.
playlist and get on with it.
We did.
Uh-huh,
I was
yeah.
having
Love
a
a
wee
wee
dance to
sing-song.
myself.
There's nothing better than that before and after, when it's just done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
See,
feeling that it
honestly,
gives
see
you.
the feeling it does.
Uh-huh.
It's almost like there's something in the back of your head. Like, it's like my washing. Like, so if you do your washing and then it's the pile to put away. Do you know that dreaded pile they put in the washing away? I think
Uh-huh.
everyone hates it. See, when you do it, you're like, that actually took 10 minutes and I feel so much better. And it's actually been at the back of my head for like days now. I need to do that. I need to do it.
Well,
Uh-huh.
it's actually proven that clutter and living in a disorganized environment it like increases the stress hormone cortisol. So like it increases that. So it's proven that clutter causes stress. And
it does.
actually,
it causes me stress.
because I was reading about it the other day, it was actually saying something as well about that living in a cluttered environment means you're less likely to exercise and you're less likely to make healthy choices because you're overwhelmed with all the decisions around about you.
What's my
So it has
excuse
a
then?
massive, but it has a massive impact on so many aspects of your life that you don't even think about. And just putting your home in order just mean like your home should be your sanctuary. We say that to everybody. Your home should be, and unfortunately for some people, their home is not their safe place. But
we've had clients that say, do you know, they drive up, stop in the car, sit outside, and I don't want to go in.
Which
Or
is
I don't
just
want to
not
invite
nice.
family over or friends over. Which it's not. Like, if that, you're like Ali said, your house is your sanctuary. That should be a place where you feel safe and happy. And so
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be supporting you rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
And important for kids as well, because I
Yeah.
know that you guys do a lot of playrooms.
Yeah.
yes.
And I experience in my kids' playroom often when all the stuff is not in its place, they don't play
They
in
don't play
it.
with
No.
it.
They'll go and
Yeah.
take a toy and they'll bring it into the living room
Yes.
where it's clear, so
Yeah.
they can concentrate on one toy because they don't know what's
Yeah.
there.
And from a young age, they actually can learn to put it back in the right boxes. If they can't read, we can like do little pictures of what's in. We had a client with a wee boy, and he was so good. Like, so see if you know, and he was only 3. Like literally, but if you have pictures and then actually he was quite excited. Yeah,
we're like, we're gonna time you. Like,
so I was like, let's go. Yeah,
I'm gonna hide lots of toys around your playroom, and then we're gonna time you and see if you can tidy it up. He was like, okay.
yeah.
And then so he was like picking them all up and putting them all back in the right. Like, he thinks of it as a game,
because everywhere's got everything has a place.
Yeah.
And that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So let's go through. I'm going to do a quick fire round and go through different rooms and then tell me your system. So you mentioned a couple earlier, like in the kitchen, so your mug should be next to your coffee machine, or what was the other thing that you said? Your pots and pans should be next to your cooker.
Yeah.
So you must have generic rules like that for each room.
Yeah.
So kitchen. Start with the kitchen.
Okay, so like those ones you
We've got
just
staple
said.
pieces as well that we like to use in kitchens. Do you want to
Okay, tell us them too.
So always drawer dividers are brilliant for a kitchen. Most kitchens have quite a lot of drawer space in them, and if you don't separate that drawer space up, everything can just become mushed in together, and it's just a riot to find
And
the
kitchen
can
always has that one drawer. Don't like every kitchen has that one drawer.
I am visualizing my drawer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I need dividers.
the everything drawer.
Yeah, to be fair, you're allowed in everything drawer.
Of course you
Because
are.
there is little bits you can't categorise. There's like little odds and ends here, like, but as long as they're sectioned into the little, okay, that's a little odds and ends section there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tiered organiser, so for your tins, I love because we did a client, and I won't obviously say any names, but they had about 100 tins of tuna and sweet corn. I was like, that do not buy any more tuna or sweet corn,
Right.
because they end up at the back of the
And you
cupboard,
can't see
and you end. Do you know when you do your food shop, you buy the same things over and over?
Guilty.
Yeah. So a tiered organizer means you can actually see what you've got. Saves you money.
Yeah.
See, we are saving money. So a tiered organizer means you can actually see what you've got.
Round table is always good for like sauces and things like that you might have up in a
Again,
cupboard so you can find it.
Turn and you can actually see what's there.
The biggest thing we'll always do in kitchens is categorize like items. So like you'll have lots of different pastas, put them in a container, like, and have them in your cupboard so that you can literally pull it out, take what you want, put the container back.
So a lot of people like to decant and have it looking all nice, you know, with the glass jars and the pasta, but some people don't have time for that, and some people just don't want to do that. So if you've got like a box, like we use a lot of the Variera from IKEA, and they're all in that, rather than you just pull the box out. Same with cleaning products underneath your sink. Got bottles all at the back if they're all in an actual box, and you're just pulling the box out, taking what you want, and putting it back. Just keeps things contained.
Yeah, okay.
Keeps it neater in cupboards.
I have one question about the decanting, and this is where decanting always goes wrong for me. I always end up
left over.
A little bit left over.
Yeah. And then you can have a wee box for your leftovers, but
so to be honest, decanting, I love the look of it, like the glass jars and everything, but for me it wouldn't work.
Yeah,
I wouldn't maintain
I don't have enough time to do it. Yeah,
I've got 3 kids, I've got, busy, and I just wouldn't be able to maintain it. Some people want that high-end look and they've got the space for it, by all means, and you're going to maintain it, go for it.
It's good if things have to be out on a so like my laundry, like my what they call pods and like softener and things like that, I do have mine's in jars, and I do decant into that because mine's are out on a shelf, so I want it to look nice.
Okay.
But things that don't need to be out on your work surface, then they don't need to.
But it's kind of down to personal preference.
Yeah, it is.
That's
That's like pretty. It's so nice. It is. It's lovely. And if you've got a big pantry and things like that, it's beautiful because you can then have like big baskets at the bottom of your pantry for like that, your leftover or your back stock and things like that, and you're just filling up, and it's lovely. But not everyone has a nice big pantry, so
and I think also buying the jars big enough.
Yeah,
because I went through a phase where I would buy jars, but they were tiny wee jars for all this pasta, and then
that's the other thing. Like a lot of people make a mistake when it comes to buying storage for any area, is that they buy stuff and they've not measured it properly, and then they get home and they're like, oh, the tub won't fit in the cupboard, or it's too deep, or the jar's not the right size, or so like measure in advance.
In our consultations, that's what we do when we go out, we'll measure. Now we look and we're like, right, we know what would fit in there, but we still do measure up things to make sure they're going to fit in. So do you want to move on to wardrobe?
Yes,
quickly?
right, so wardrobe, go for wardrobe.
Slimline coat hangers must How many you get from a wooden one to, is it like 3 times or something like that? Yeah.
Okay, so the kind of velvety one.
Some people have an aversion to the velvet feel because they don't like the grippiness of them. But say as long as you get a slimline hanger,
okay,
the slimline ones you will get 3 for every wooden hanger. Like it's amazing the amount more space
wooden hangers. And categorise. Like have actually another thing as well. I always like, if you've got a drawer, I always like to put my jeans in a drawer because jeans take up a lot of
jeans in a drawer. What about big bulky jumpers? Where would you put them?
A lot of the time we use either under bed storage for them or above.
Okay,
your wardrobe.
Yeah, shelf above.
Okay, what about shoes?
Shoe rack, so there's lots of different options when it comes to shoes. It depends how many shoes you have, Meg.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some people are like an expandable shoe rack are brilliant because they expand to the space that you've got available. Other people, if I remember we did the lovely Dr. Poonam's shoe collection, she had so many amazing shoes. And we had to categorize her shoes because she's got so many shoes.
Like so like a box of red heels.
Yeah.
Not just 1 or 2 pairs, like
So we had to categorize hers into boxes, but at least then everything was labeled, and if she was looking for a black court shoe, she could,
like I'm talking hundreds here.
Right, okay.
She has a shoe for every
they're
occasion.
beautiful as well. She's got lovely shoes. Or if they want to display nice trainers, then the shoe boxes, or the shoe boxes are good for cupboards, because you can get the height. You can use the height so you can stack them. Or in one of our clients we use for the keeps all these trainers and things under his stairs, so you can get the shoe storage that actually you build yourself, and you can build them at a slant.
Okay.
So yeah.
For a family with shoes,
yeah,
obviously every family has shoes. Would you suggest keeping all the shoes in one place or keeping each person's shoes in their own room?
If you have room.
Personally, I would not keep shoes in your bedroom. Because
I don't have that luxury, so my kids have a shoe rack under there.
Like shoes that they're wearing every day are for them to run upstairs, put their if you've got a 2-story house, if they're running upstairs, putting their shoes on and then traipsing back down, you're just
actually I have a shoe rack, 2 shoe racks under my stairs.
So like shoes that they're wearing every day have downstairs. And the thing that we would say about your hallway especially is just actually really think about how you use your house. What's like, so for instance, in my house, I come in, I know my keys need to go somewhere, I know my house keys, my car keys, I know that we need to take shoes off at the door, I need a place for jackets, I need a place for school bags. So just think really methodically about how you move around your house, how you work in your house.
So I've got 2 shoe racks. Ali, you've got, each of your kids have got boxes, haven't they?
Yeah.
Under the stairs.
So they've got boxes. like their acrylic shoe boxes that stack above, so they're make the most of the vertical space, and they've each got 4 of them downstairs.
I have 3 girls, so they have a lot of shoes, my kids, so they wouldn't all fit under my stairs.
I've also got day to day.
Their school shoes and trainers they would wear just as a part-time job, like things like that. Their trainers to work or trainers going to uni or things, they'd be downstairs, but any of their other shoes would be up in there. The other 2 have shoe racks, and one of my daughters has the drawers under the bed, so she keeps
like heels and stuff that you're not wearing all the time. By all means, store them in your bedroom. But day-to-day stuff I would have.
So that's what I mean, it's got to work for you, so there's not a set rule for everything. Basically you've got to look around and see what works for you in your house and work around that.
A massive one we always get asked is how to store football strips. Lots of mums going, how do we start? It's just beyond me. And again, it kind of depends how they wear their football strip. So do they wear the full strip? If so, store the full strip all together, fold it together and have them all together so that they're just taking the if they just wear the top separately, keep your top separate and just have them like envelope folded so that they can see everything and they can pick out the one that they want. So a lot of what we're doing is really bespoke to how you
for kids actually the boxes in the drawers or separators in the drawers and have them rolled. It means they can see, because if you just fold things on top, you can't see. They grab the bottom one and it's so actually rolling and having them rolled and they can actually see everyone. It means they're just picking it out rather than grabbing for the bottom of the pile and it just goes.
And it is a game changer having that labelled in your kids' room as well, isn't it? Because you just know where it goes.
It's for older kids that can actually read and they know. It's good for them as well to give them that wee bit of independence that they can.
Also, it makes you stay on top of decluttering a wee bit, because, like, for instance, my son came the other day and he was like, "My t-shirt drawer is getting really full." So he knew that he was running out of space for t-shirts, and I'm like, okay, well, let's go through them. And then you go through them, and 3 of them didn't fit him anymore. Let's get rid of them. So if they've only got a certain amount of space to fill, it kind of keeps you in check about clearing out constantly.
Because most of the time we don't need extra storage, we need to get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, what other rooms? Bathroom?
So bathroom, again, I would think about what do you want to store in your bathroom. So if you've got perfumes, can you have a turntable with your perfumes on it? If you've got, a lot of people have got like quite a lot of back stock for bathrooms, like excess shampoo and conditioner and body lotion and everything. So we would always like get some kind of basket that works with the aesthetics of your bathroom, but can it be stored underneath with back stock in it out the way, underneath your vanity unit, so that actually everything's there. And if you are looking for shampoo, that's the first place you're going to go.
Little dividers in IKEA, they do ones at like 50 pence or £1. They're just little tubs. They're good for keeping all your toothbrushes or your toothpaste, deodorant, separating inside the drawer. But we did to a client, it was a beautiful house, but they had no storage in their bathroom at all. And we got the trolleys, the little 3-tier trolleys from IKEA, and then used just a little
I would say that's one thing. Like when people are moving into new houses, they look at something aesthetically and think that looks so
and it was
beautiful.
stunning. This bathroom was,
but actually, is it practical? Storage. Like, does it work? And if you don't have built-in storage in your bathroom, you're going to have to put movable storage in. So you'll need some kind of movable unit from IKEA. It doesn't need to be expensive, but something that you can move around the bathroom and find the best position for it. But you need storage in a bathroom, like you need it.
Okay, what about an office, a home office?
Offices are so hard to do because a lot of things in an office are personal, and like it's a lot of paperwork. It's not personal that we bother, it's just you need the client there. That's why a lot of the time you can just bring a client in and have spend an hour and say, or half an hour quick fire. But offices are difficult.
Every bit of paperwork you need to
go through.
But just know the rules for an office. Know the rules about how like in terms of dates of how long you need to keep certain pieces of paperwork.
Stuff for 10 years. For 5.
Exactly. So it's like
Ali does know all the rules.
Making sure that you know all the rules for all the paperwork, and actually buy a shredder, keep on top of it, so that if and try and categorize things by year. Just you can just buy like little the kind of file folders from IKEA. They're not expensive, but if you've got stuff stored by year as well, then it's really easy to go, right, that year's now no longer required. All of that can be shredded. Drawer dividers, little places to keep stationery and pens within drawers, so that it's all out the way, but everything, places for envelopes, places for calculators, staplers, sellotape, all that should be stored in an office. It needs to actually have a place.
So if you have a folder with separators with all different categories, once that year's up, you're opening your folder, just lift that, put it in, and then, as I said, Ali said, just have it marked what year it is, and then you can just, the whole thing you're just getting rid of and shredding.
What would you recommend for things like, so recently my mum's house got flooded, and she was searching for the insurance and this document and that document and this document. Would you recommend keeping the really important things like that like in one folder, like your insurance, your passport?
So like important documents. So there's the brilliant little file boxes you can get that just can store into like any wee nook kind of thing. But like birth certificates, marriage certificates, insurance documents, things you're going to be using all the time, keep them together. But like that, make sure you have.
Do you use your birth certificate all the time?
Well, do you know, if you're applying for a new passport or anything like that, like really important stuff that that kind
birth certificate out every day.
I am too. Don't believe I'm the age I am. I have to carry it with me all the time.
When you're applying for school places and stuff, it's like
and I just had to enroll my middle son for secondary school, so I needed it there. There you go.
Okay, so keep that all in one box folder.
Yes.
Okay. Have we missed any rooms? Garage?
Garages. We love a garage.
Racks.
Vertical racks?
Yes, use right. Okay. And clear boxes so you can actually see and categorize.
Right.
Yeah.
Bikes.
If you can get
brilliant
on
bike
the
hooks,
on
get the things off your floor, but that really depends on what else you've got. Like we're saying,
it depends on the actual garage.
They do take quite a lot of space up.
coming out
of the wall. So people quite often think, oh, let's get them off the floor, but then actually it takes away a whole usable wall.
Okay.
So it really depends on how.
But racks are great. Definitely use the height in your garage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And playrooms.
Playrooms, so we love a Kallax unit in the playroom,
and we were so excited when IKEA did the little base to the Kallax unit because it makes it look like a proper little wee bit like
so it puts legs on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So sometimes a Kallax unit could just look a bit like a Kallax, but the legs just add another wee dimension to it, don't they? It makes it look much
like
more like a piece of furniture.
And then because you can get all the different little inserts now, there's so many. There's drawers you can actually put in now, and so Kallax unit we
really nice storage baskets that go with the aesthetic. You can get really lovely like little basket clips that clip onto the front, and you can get really nice ones that are like wee wooden circles with like images for younger children that would stick onto the front, so that if they can't read, they can look at the visual idea of where things should go away.
Playrooms can actually look really pretty. I do like doing
they can.
So I go on Pinterest and see beautiful playrooms, but then what about all the big toys? Where do you store the big ones?
So that is reality, and that's the thing. People go onto Pinterest and then go, I want my room to look like that. In reality, it's not going to look like that because you've got a pink piano.
I would say, I was going to say get them off the floor, not a pink piano, but you know, like the big trucks or the big things, get them to see like the Kallax units. I would use that to have them sat on top, but it looks a little neater than.
But the reality is we've all got those ugly, brightly coloured
apart from the lovely
plastic
playroom that we just did. I don't know if you saw it on Instagram, and it was literally like she'd built in wardrobes right at the cupboards right at the end, all shelved, and literally all the trucks where everything was hidden behind. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was purpose built, mind you, but it was
amazing.
So it's so tidy.
Storage. That is like the biggest thing. Like, but large things like kitchens or pianos or ride-on things.
But it's fine because they're out for your kids to play with.
Exactly.
Can still look nice, but the big baskets are really good. One of our clients has sourced these massive big
gorgeous
baskets,
ones with line pieces on them.
Oh,
so
nice.
you can get things that go
big
with
teddy bears take up a lot of space, things like that. So
toys.
As long as they're in something that looks nice, then
But also some people will do a toy rotation, like if they think there's far too many toys in here and the child, like you're saying, is a bit overwhelmed, because kids do get overwhelmed if they have too much stuff in front of them. So actually paring it back means that they will play with things way more happily, and they'll be able to select things they want to play with and put them back if they've got less. So if you don't want to get rid of toys, do a toy rotation, put stuff out in the garage and then swap it around halfway through the year to give them a change of the toys that they're playing with.
When I would try and go to swap it out, and then they would just never come back in. But then
or toys that they've never played with, never go through a playroom with a child being there.
Never.
Anything you pull out, they're like, oh, I love that. You're like, we've not played with it for like 2 years. They're like, no, keep that.
One of the biggest things when it comes to decluttering is that people go, oh, I can't get rid of it, it was really expensive. And we'll say to them, you're not getting the value back from that by keeping it. And if you're not using it, it's actually just making your life harder. So by keeping it isn't making it worth it. It's actually just making your life harder. So actually think really carefully about what you want to have in your home, and there is no point keeping things because you think you spent a lot of money on it.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not being used anymore. What's the point?
Okay, I think we've covered all the rooms.
I think so.
Have we covered all the rooms?
I think so.
Well, guys, we'll leave it at that.
We could keep going and going. Just keep chatting.
Thank you so much. So if anyone wants to work with you or get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you?
On our Instagram page.
Yeah.
And what's that?
So at Sorted Home Organisers, or they can go on to our website, which is www.sortedhomeorganisers.co.uk, and they can fill in our contact form. And we're on Facebook too. Just search for Sorted Home Organisers on Facebook and you'll find us. And we do a wee free consultation, so we can come out, meet with you, have a chat about how we might help, and then go from there.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.